You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
This is the Daniel Monday Night Community Show on demand through YouTube. Thank you very much for choosing to listen to us through this method. If you'd like to keep up to date with when I add new interviews, then subscribe to this channel. Cassy, as always, it's good to see you here in the studio.
Thanks for inviting me.
Now, you're here to talk about Ideas Test, give us a bit of an update, let us know what's happening, but I was hoping you could introduce our listeners into Ideas Test if they're not quite sure what it is.
Yeah, of course. Ideas Test is the Creative People and Places programme for Swale and Medway. We're in our third year now, so we've been here to BRFM before. What we've been doing is researching new ways of increasing arts participation for everyone in Swale and Medway, which means that we work to create opportunities for local people to take part in creative activity in whatever way they choose.
Now, I know you next wanted to talk a little bit about a website, Wandering Words, I think.
Yes, this is one of our big projects. Back in June, we launched a website called Wandering Words. We created it in response to all the feedback we had from local people saying that they enjoyed reading and they enjoyed writing. And it's been designed specifically to share writing about Swale and Medway. It can be in any form, so we've got audio, film, comic book strips, and as well as the written word. And the work is all place-based, so it's either about or references places in Sheppey, Sittingbourne, Faversham, Medway and the surrounding areas.
And at the moment we're talking about Wandering Words, and I think you wanted to talk a little bit more about the commission.
Yeah, we actually kicked off the Wandering Words project by commissioning 10 local writers to produce work responding to places in Swale and Medway. And we selected different writers so that we have lots of different kind of genres and types of writing. So we have poetry, we've got history writing, some lyrics, some spoken word, as well as some graphic work as well. And the work is now all on the Wandering Words website, which is wanderingwords.org.uk, so you can read it. And there's lots of work already that's been based or references Sheppey in some way. Barry Fenterman wrote about Sheerness, and Carol Donaldson responded to Elmley, and they produced some really wonderful work, so it's really worth taking a look. And for our next phase of the project, we're working with Wise Words, who run a really wonderful festival over in Canterbury, and they've worked with young poets already in Medway, and in August they'll be running a poet-led walk across Swale and Medway, and we're really looking for young people from Swale to take part or to come along to see some of the poetry. If you're interested, you can email me at Cassy@creativepeopleplace.info for details, and I'll also be putting all the information on the Wandering Words website later this week.
And I was wondering why you sort of write, or what writing means to you, and what you sort of think it can give, and giving it a go, that sort of kind of thing.
Yeah, writing's always been a really important part of my life. I'm a writer myself, and I blog and I write poetry in my spare time. And I find it much easier to communicate through writing. And I love reading too. It's my escape from reality, but it also keeps me really kind of interested in learning about the world. I think that telling stories can be entertaining, educational, but we all do it all the time. It's how we connect with each other and how we connect with where we live. So you don't need to have written or published any work before to share something you've written on the Wandering Words website. So if you have a funny story, a memory, a piece of writing about somewhere in Swale or Medway, then please think about adding it so we can all enjoy it. And you can record yourself reading or telling the story if you prefer talking to writing, or you can draw it as well and upload the image. So there's all sorts of ways you can get involved. We just really want to get Swale writing.
Now, I know you've got, I think, an example that's been posted on the site so far that you'd like to read out, I think.
Yes, I'm going to read a poem that was posted by a local writer called Angela Dye after we launched the site. I hope I do it justice. I'll do my best. It's called Sea Leaves. As the closed clouds shrug tight, hug chalk, talk night, around the black blue bulking sea, she cups broken screams in a moonflit huddle, puddle whoring cyclone of endless, friendless tea. See misfortune of flip-rip waves, then more waves, shave the lips of ribbon, slipstream into silver stairs. Scares into a sea sky, bold, wet fold upon fold, rolled with a million starless, cold, grave cares. Hair tangled in the bleak, black break and smack, brick crack of the iron scarf of the whip wild wind, blind as the closed clouds shrug tight, hug chalk, talk night around the blue, black, bulking sea.
In regards to Ideas Test, I was hoping you could give our listeners a bit of an update on how things are going, event-wise, that kind of thing.
Yeah, of course. Our big news is that we're moving offices to Sittingbourne. We're partnering with Spirit of Sittingbourne and moving into number 34, which is on the High Street. And it will be a chance for us to create a bit of a creative hub there and host a kind of programme of creative events and workshops as well. So make sure you kind of watch out for that coming up soon. We're moving in hopefully at the end of August, and so we'll be making announcements after that about things coming up. Obviously, we've also got lots of events coming up over the summer. The Out in the Ordinary Places projects are now kind of underway, and there's also workshops from Wandering Words happening throughout the summer. The next one being Maria C. McCarthy's doing a writing workshop in an orchard, and that'll be really lovely. So look at the Ideas Test website and the Wandering Words website for details of all those dates.
And before you go, Cassie, I was just hoping you could refresh our listeners on any of those useful contact details of the things you covered during the interview.
Yeah, sure. You can find out more about Ideas Test on our website, which is ideastest.co.uk. And you can see the Wandering Words website, read the work and add your own at wanderingwords.org.uk. We're also on social media at Ideas Test on Twitter and on Facebook, so you can find us there too. And if you want to email me about anything, you can reach me on cassie@creativepeopleplace.info.
Cass, as always, it's great to have you here in the studio, and once again, thank you very much for updating us on that Ideas Test and how it's going.
Thanks very much.
That is Cassy Fry this evening, talking all about Ideas Test with an update here at the Monday Night Community Show.